What's going on, guys? In this video we're going to be going in depth on one that I've been meaning to do a review on for quite a while. It was actually at the recording of this my most worn fragrance last summer of 2021, and if I was to bet on it, probably by summer's end, as far as niche fragrances, it'll be my most worn. Again, we're talking about from Roja Parfums. This is Oceania, so stay tuned. Moving into scent, so I'll have this large complex note breakdown on screen, as it's most notably known when it comes to Roja Dove's fragrances. There's usually quite the amalgamation of notes. It makes it kind of difficult sometimes to pick out certain notes, but it does help to blend into some beautiful accords that nuance and change throughout the fragrance's life. That's no different here with Oceania. Here it's bright, airy, breezy, full of citruses, a little crisp, fresh green. It has this aquatic feel to it, though no sea notes, no watery notes, no sea salt, any of that stuff. It doesn't come across salty, but it has this aquatic, watery nuance. I don't know how he pulled this off. Maybe it's a combination of the musk with the florals, because you do get this violet iris combo that provides a light powdery nuance to this as the citruses kind of settle down a little while into the fragrance's life, and you kind of get into the heart and early dry down, which is going to be the majority of the life of the fragrance. So it really develops nicely because, like I said, there's so many citruses and lavender and rosemary and there's, I believe, a little bit of thyme. Like, there's these aromatics and citruses at the top that really brighten and freshen this thing up. It really does. And it takes a while for that freshness to fade into that lightly floral tone that I was talking about, where the violet doesn't come across anything but a light powdery nature. The iris kind of adds this soapy floral tone to it. It's not the lipsticky type of iris because it's not the fantasy iris note. This is more of a natural iris that provides a slight earthy, lightly powdery tone, but it's done in a manner that comes across a little soapy. I don't know if that's because of the combination of the lavender, because I don't know how much lavender is actually in here, but it never smells like there's too much. Nothing ever really takes the lead in this fragrance and kind of overwhelms your senses when it comes to one specific note or one very strong accord, because it's citrus, it's fresh, it's aromatic, it's a little green and fresh spicy, it's lightly soapy, it's lightly powdery. You settle into this light woody feel. There's moss, there's vetiver, there's sandalwood, there's all these different things in the base, but the most simplistic way to describe it is there's this light, almost salty ambergris type of smell to the muskiness that's there, though I don't remember any ambergris being in the fragrance, but it kind of has almost an ambergris type of smell. Like I said, like a clean salty musk, a light creamy woody base, nothing earthy, nothing dirty. Everything about this is fresh, clean, and elegant. When it comes to summertime scents that dress up great, have an elegance to them, but maintain this mega level of freshness, that is Oceania. Now, in regards to performance, this is a sneaky one, because it's not overwhelmingly loud at first, but it does last in the 8 to 10 hour range on my skin. It never seems to want to go away. And for the level of fresh airiness that this fragrance has, it's remarkable in my opinion. It really is. It just randomly wafts throughout its lifespan just to remind you, hey, I'm still here. You don't need to refresh. I'm still prominent. I'm not a skin scent. That's pretty much what it comes across to me. It's not an overwhelmingly strong whiff that I get from time to time, but it's enough to let me know I don't need to refresh. My fragrance is strong enough. This is obviously pretty loud in the first hour, as is with most fragrances, especially ones so bright and airy at the top. It's loud. If you spray it heavy, it's gonna grab attention for sure in the first hour. After about the second hour, it does sit a lot closer to the skin, though, like I said, never really a skin scent. It has a nice radiant quality, though not a strong radiant quality when it comes to the sillage that it's gonna settle into. It's light and airy in its scent profile and design, so the sillage remains light and airy. It's never really too strong, but it has a class to it. This is one of those fragrances that's I can't imagine ever having an opportunity to offend someone, even at its strongest point in the beginning, because it just smells so clean and so fresh. It's not the most unique fragrance of all time, but the way that it was composed with the blend and the style of performance, it's almost the perfect summer fragrance. The quality is there. There's no daring challenge to it. It's elegant and classy, but also not serious, and the performance falls right in line with that. Like I said, the sillage falls in that moderate territory where it's not really strong, but it's not really weak. The projection, same thing. It's not really strong, but it's not really weak. And 8 to 10 hours of longevity. Really hard to complain about. My final thoughts on this one, it's my favorite from the house because it's the one I wear the most. It's the most easy reach, most enjoyable, just spray it on and forget it. You smell fresh and clean. It's got this quality and this essence of elegance to the scent profile. I just love it. I can't get enough of it. I love spraying this one. We're going to spray it right now, as a matter of fact. It's just such a beautiful blend. Overall, in my personal opinion, Oceania is definitely an 8.5 out of 10. This stuff is great. Absolutely great. Is it the most unique, most enjoyable, complex wow factor from the house? No, they have a ton of remarkable fragrances. They really do. When it comes to what smells the absolute best, there's others that I would put in the 9 and 9.5 territory rated over this one. But what makes it my favorite is the ease of use and ease of wear. The versatility, especially how much it shines in the high heat. This stuff is just awesome. It's absolutely sample worthy. This is, in my opinion, of what I have, everything you see on this wall back here and even the stuff that's not on screen, this is probably the best summer fragrance in my collection. Just because, like I said before, it has that elegance, that essence to it, but it's not a serious fragrance. It's got a gorgeous blend, and it's got the sweet spot in performance where it's all day, stays on my skin pretty much all day, and it has just enough power to make it noticeable, but never intrusive, never overwhelming, and never very strong. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Roja Parfums Oceania, my favorite niche fragrance for summertime. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried this? I've had this, like I said, since, I want to say last spring. 2021 of spring was when I got this. Roja Parfums did send this out to me as a gift back then. I do appreciate it. As you can tell, I mean, here we are, a year later, over a year later since I got it. They just send them out as a gift. They don't ask for a review. They don't ask for anything. They're kind enough to send this, and this is me. I've spent enough time with it that I've actually been procrastinating doing this review. I'm glad to finally get this one out and give my full thoughts. I've spoke of it in lists before, but I've never really broke it down into detail completely on how it changes on my skin, what I feel about it, and how great I actually think it is. This stuff, like I said, it's my favorite from the house. And until next time, I will say, if you get your nose on Roja Parfums Oceania and you give it a spray now, I'm telling you, you're probably going to thank me later. It smells great. Have a good one, guys.